Hello viewers and listeners, welcome to our English class. Last week we discussed nouns and types of nouns, and of course you were given assignment to do. So we're going to do the correction before we move on to our next lesson. Your assignment was identify the nouns in the following sentences. So what are the sentences? I watched the film on my television. Uncle Omar bought a brand new car. The teacher gave us homework to do. The knife is blunt. The president lives at the state house. The car hit the dog on the road. She always wears expensive clothes. The two brothers help each other. Sambakala is a village in Nyomi. Farafenye is the biggest town in North Bank region. So this was the assignment given to you. Now, the correction is here. Compare these answers to yours. I watched the film on my television. The nouns in this sentence are film and television. Number 2, Uncle Omar bought a brand new car. The nouns in this sentence are Uncle Omar and car. Number 3, the teacher gave us homework to do. The nouns here are teacher and homework. Number 4, the knife is blunt. Here, the noun here is knife. Number 5, the president lives at the state house. Here, the nouns are president and state house. Number 6, the car hit the dog on the road. What are the nouns here? The nouns are car, dog, and road. Number 7, she always wears expensive clothes. The noun in this sentence is clothes. Number 8, the two brothers help each other. The noun in this sentence is brother. Number 9, Sambakala is a village in Nyomi. Here, the nouns in this sentence are Sambakala, village, and Nyomi. Number 10, Farafenye is the biggest town in the North Bank region. Here, the nouns are Farafenye, town, and North Bank region. So, we move on to our today's topic. Our today's topic is noun numbers. But before going further to look at noun numbers, we're going to look at some features of nouns. Nouns, unlike pronouns and verbs, can take articles such as a, and, the, some, etc. Example, you can say a dog, a child, an egg, the book, the table, some water, a little oil, etc. They are unlike pronouns and verbs. For example, verbs don't take articles. Like you cannot say, look at this example, it. You cannot say the it. You cannot also say an it. You cannot say that because it is a verb. The same way, pronouns don't take article. You cannot say the he. You cannot also say a he. But nouns would take article. That's why you can say a dog. You can also say the dog. All right? So nouns, unlike conjunctions and adjectives, have both singular and plural. Example, dog, dogs, pen, pens, person, persons, or people. Now we move on. Noun number. Noun number refers to singular or plural nouns. Singular nouns refers to exactly one person, animal, thing, or idea. Singular noun names one person, place, animal, things, or idea. Example, a boy, a girl, a driver, a teacher, a car, a building, a mosque, etc. Plural nouns refers to more than one person, animal, place, things, or idea. A plural noun names more than one person, place, things, or idea. Examples, boys, girls, drivers, teachers, cars, building, mosque extra. The difference between plural noun and singular nouns here is the S. In the singular nouns, you have boy. In the plural nouns, you have boys. This will be their difference. You also have what we call girl as singular. We also have girls as plural. So this makes the difference between a singular and a plural. Now, formation of singular and plural nouns. How nouns form their plural? Nouns form their plural in different ways. However, there are fixed patterns for formation of plural nouns. What are these patterns? We're going to look at them one after the other. Let's look at them. Many nouns form their plurals by adding only S to their base form. Examples: market, markets. If you have market like this, you want to make it plural, what you need to do, just add S. If you have a car like this, you want to make it plural, just add S. So you can see more examples here. You have market, markets, hospital, hospitals, village, villages, car, cars, bicycle, bicycles, table, tables, driver, drivers. We move on. Nouns end in F or FE. Many nouns that end in F or FE form their plurals by changing the F or FE to V and then add ES to make them plurals. Now look at this one. If you have a noun and the nouns end in F or FE, you want to make it plural, what do you need to do? Change this F or FE to V and then you add ES. For example, you have this knife. You want to make it plural now. You cannot add S directly. What do? Change this FE to what? V, and then you add ES. That will give you like this, knives. You also have what we call life, L-I-F-E. You want to make it plural, you don't add S direct. What do? You change the FE to V, like this, and then you add ES. That will give you lives. So you can have more examples here. Knife, knives, wife, wives, life, lives, thieves, thieves. Nouns end in F. Some nouns that end in F form their plural by adding only S. Now, take note. You were told that nouns end in F or FE form their plural by changing the F to V, then add ES. But this does not apply to all. In some other nouns, when they end in F, you just add S straight away. For example, if you have roof, it ends in F, you don't have to change the F. What do? Add S directly. We also have what we call believe. It ends in F. What do you need to do? Add S only. So not all nouns that end in F form their plural by changing the F to V and add ES. Some other nouns don't do that. What do? Just add S directly. So we have examples: thief, thieves, roof, roofs, believe, beliefs, handkerchief, handkerchiefs, puffs, puffs. We move on. Some nouns that end in F can form their plurals in two ways, by either adding S or changing the F to V, then add ES. You were told that some nouns end in F, you change the F to V and add ES, like knife, knives. Some other nouns, you don't do that. You just add S direct. For example, thieves. But there are some other nouns that end in F, their plural can be in two forms. You either add S directly, or you change the F to V, and then you add es. Is that good? So we look at this: calf, hoof, dwarf, wharf. So these nouns, their plural form can be in two different ways. Here you can say scarf with S, scarf, you change the F to V, you add EF, hoof, F, you add S, or you change the F to V, and then you add ES. So we move on. Nouns ending in Y preceded by a vowel letter form their plural forms by adding S. If a noun ends in Y, but you have a vowel letter before the Y, form their plural by adding only S. For example, the vowel letters are A, I, E, O, and U. If a noun ends in Y, and a vowel letter before the Y, you want to make it plural, you need to add only S. Let's look at this. For example, we have this key. If you want to make it plural, you just add S. Why? Because there is a vowel letter before the Y. We also have what we call they. You want to make it plural, add S because of the vowel letter. So you have them here: boy, boys, key, keys, monkey, monkeys, way, ways, they, days, runway, runways, etc. Now we move on. Nouns ending in Y preceded by a consonant letter form their plural by changing the Y to I, then add ES. So this rule also says if a noun ends in Y, but the Y came after a consonant letter, in this case you don't add S directly. What you need to do, you change the Y to I, and then you add ES. For example, if you have a word like this, lady, this is the Y, and you have a consonant letter before the Y. What do? You change this Y to what? I. Then what do you do next? You add ES. So that will give you what? Lady, and will give you what? Ladies. Okay? So you have them here: city, cities, army, armies, company, companies, army, armies, lorry, lorries, party, parties, baby, babies, factory, factories, family, families, etc. We move on. Many nouns that end in O, CH, SH, S, and X form their plural by adding only ES. That is example, tomato. In the plural form, you cannot add S directly. For example, you cannot say this: tomato, you add S. What do you need to do? You have to add ES. So you can see them here: hero, heroes, bench, benches, watch, watches, brushes, class, classes, box, boxes, etc. So any noun, or not any, but many nouns end in O, CH, SH, S, and X form their plural by adding ES. Some other nouns that end in O form their plural by adding only S. Rules are always exceptional. Not all nouns that end in O you add ES. There are nouns that end in O you add only S. For example, you have them video, you don't add ES. What do? You add only S direct. Hippo, you don't add ES. Piano, you don't add ES. Albino, you don't add ES. What do? You add S directly. We move on. So compound nouns form their plurals by adding S to the main noun. We discussed earlier that compound noun consists of two words to make a single noun. So if you want to make them plural, the S is carried by the main noun. We look at them here: accountant general, accountants general. So here the S cannot be in generals. It should be in the main noun. What is the main noun here? Accountant. So what do we say? Accountants general. We have auditor general. We have auditors general. Head of state, heads of state, not head of states. Secretary general, we have secretaries general. Sergeant major, sergeant majors. Girl guide, girl guides. Attorney general, attorney generals or attorneys general. Inspector general, inspectors general. Mother-in-law, mothers-in-law. So in the case of compound noun, the plural form is always carried by the main noun. We move on. Some nouns have irregular plural. That is, they don't follow any pattern. You were told earlier that some other nouns, you change the Y to I, you change the F to V. Those are the patterns that they follow. But some other nouns have irregular plural, that there is no pattern to follow. We look at them: man, men. You don't say mans or men's, woman, women, foot, feet, tooth, teeth, mouse, mice, louse, lice, ox, oxen, child, children, etc. Some nouns have zero plurals. That is, they have no difference in forms for both singular and plural. These nouns don't take S and they don't change. They remain the same in both singular and both plural. For example, we said advice, advice. You don't say advices. You don't listen to advices. No, you said you don't listen to advice. News, news, not newses. The singular is news, the plural is news. Sheep, sheep. It doesn't take S. You don't say my mother has 5 sheep. You just say my mother has 5 sheep. Information, information doesn't take S. You don't say informations. You don't add S to information. Equipment. You don't say equipments. Equipment does not take S. Furniture, not furnitures, but remain the same: furniture. Please, please, and chalk, chalk. These nouns have zero plural. They don't take S. They don't change. Their singular form and plural forms are the same. Some other nouns are plural in nature because they are physical composition. Some other nouns, by looking at them, they are always plural because they are physical composition. For example, trousers is always in 2, slippers in 2, scissors in 2, gloves in 2, jeans in 2, clothes, goats, arms, sandals. These type of nouns are plural in nature because of what? They are physical composition. Good. Now let's look at this exercise. Write the plurals of the following nouns. What are they? City, chair, village, orange, potato, market, country, father, sister, and monkey. These nouns write their plural form. Now let's see. Good. Look at them. Compare these answers to yours. City, cities, chair, chairs, village, villages, orange, oranges, potato, potatoes, market, markets, country, countries, father, fathers, sister, sisters, monkey, monkeys. So you can see the rules here that are applied. City, when you want to make it plural, you change the Y to I and then you add ES. Why? Because there is a consonant letter before the Y. You look at the word potato. If you want to make it plural, you don't add S directly, but you add ES. Why that? Because it ends in O. Words that end in O form their, not all, but many, form their plural by adding ES. If you look at country, you don't add S direct to the Y. What did we do? We change the Y to I, then we add ES. So in the case of monkey, we add S directly. Why do we add S directly? Because the rule says that if a noun ends in Y preceded by a vowel letter, you add S automatically. So you don't have to do any changes. We move on. Good. Identify the correct word to fill in the gap in each sentence. Let's look at them. Fatu bought 2 new cars. Number 2, I saw 3 dogs in the forest. Number 3, the teacher asked me to bring 2 dogs. Number 2, you didn't mention monkey and monkeys in the bracket. Okay. Identify the correct words to fill in the gap in each sentence. Number 1, Fatu bought 2 new cars. Number 2, I saw 3 in the forest, monkeys. Number 3, the teacher asked me to bring 2 pieces of chalk. Number 4, there are in the bedroom, pianos. Number 5, my mother owned 5 sheep. Number 6, there are more in the city, factories. Number 7, the are meeting in Kigali, Rwanda. Heads of state. Number 8, the are holding meeting, directors general. I receive from the director, information. Now, use the correct word to fill in the gap. Number 10, we have enough in our class. Furnitures. Now let's look at the correction. Compare these answers to yours. Fatu bought 2 new cars. It cannot be car because 2 is more than 1. We move on. I saw 3 in the forest. We take monkeys, MONKYS. We don't take the other one, IES, because there is a vowel letter before the Y. The teacher asked me to bring 2 pieces of chalk, not 2 pieces of chalks, because you were told that chalk is 0 plural. It doesn't take S. And number 4, there are in the room, pianos. We take the one with S without ES because you were told that piano, of course, takes only S. My mother owned 5 sheep, not seats. There are more factories. We take the spelling FACTORIES instead of the other one. The are meeting in Kigali. What do we take? The heads of state. We're not taking the heads of states. We're taking the heads of state. Number 8, the are holding meeting. We also have the directors general, not the directors generals, but we're taking the directors general. Number 9, I receive information, not an information, and not also informations. You don't add S there. You just simply put it, I receive information from the director, not I receive an information from the director. Because information is an uncountable noun, and you were told that uncountable nouns don't carry articles. Therefore, you cannot say an information. We move on. Number 10, we have enough in our class. Furnitures. We don't say enough furnitures. Furniture is 0 plural. The singular form and the plural form remain the same. What do you say? We have enough furniture in our class. Now we move on. Now take this assignment and then you work on it before our next class. What do you do? Complete this table. What do you have? Singular and plural. Words that are in singular give their plural form. Words that are in plural give their singular forms. What do you have? Lorry, advice. These are in singular form, give their plural. The other words, monkeys, furniture, tables, they are in plural form, give their singular form. The other word, dear, information, they are in singular form, give us their plural forms. We also have news, trousers, in plural form, give us also their singular form. We also have food, give us their singular or its singular form. Good. So work on it before our next class. So that's it for today. I hope you've understood the lesson. And of course, I thank you all for your kind attention. As I always advise you, stay at home, focus on your TB, read your books, do your assignment. Always wash your hand with soap. Thank you very much.